All right, Shalom Israel. Once again, it's your brother Kalab here to the Spirit to bring out another video. But before I get started, I want to give all honor and glory to my power, which is Yahweh, Ka'Allah, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakadash. And just meditating in the Spirit, the Spirit's been on me to even though we're not really supposed to, to speak in the Spirit every now and then, we'll throw some gems out there to a coworker, to somebody new we meet, or even a family member, right? In hopes that they might get it. But just the truth is, that these people, they're a rebellious house, they're too occupied and too concerned with the world and vanity and occupied and invested in things that don't matter. So therefore, being that they forgot the laws of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, being that they don't seek the ways of to please Yahweh Shem Yahshai, Yahweh Shem Yahshai is going to destroy them. But the thing is that they're going to be, they're already knowing this, but they still waxing worse and worse. And not only that, when it finally hits them, they're going to be crying out and begging, and wishing that they had listened, but it's going to be too late. So with that, I have Hosea chapter 4 and 6 says, "My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children." And that's heavy, because now it's not only a thing with where you're going to be judged, but now this is an extension. Now you being rebellious to Yahweh Shem Yahshai, you being hearkened, he don't necessarily have to take you out. You don't have to be the first one to be taken out. He could take your kids out. He could take your people, things that you love, your family, right? So Yahweh Shem Yahshai, he's the Lord of terror, so he can afflict you any which way he wants, So that's why we have to be very fearful of the Lord. That says the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. Psalms chapter 1 and 29 says, "Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful," says, "But his delight is the law of the Lord, and in the law doeth he meditate day and night." And this is an attribute that the election has. Aaron Ratazal would be of that number. It says, and he shall, and doing so, verse 3 says, "And he shall be like a planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish." So Yahweh Shem Yahshai is getting, there's a standard being lifted, and if you cannot hearken to Yahweh Shem Yahshai, there's heavy consequences that are imperative to your life. Okay, this is deadly serious. Mark chapter 8. So I'm gonna skip that one for now. And then I could go to that one. It says Matthew chapter 6 and 19. I'm going to just read it, then I'll speak about it. Well, actually, I'll just speak because our people, right? Like one person in particular, and it's always one particular person in my family, he's my brother-in-law, and he is, in the world, in a world's view, which, I hate to say it or whatever, he's all right in the sense like he's respectful, he's charitable and all these qualities. But the one thing he lacks is knowledge, and he's too occupied in building up here in this world. And see that we understand now through the Spirit, things that we invest in this life, things that we put our energy into is vanity. Why? Because we understand that we're at the end of the world. So it's like if you're just building a sandcastle, right? You're spending all this time, hours and hours building a sandcastle, and that high tide, that's spiritual as well. That there's going to be a fucking tsunami coming. Why would you do that? Or why would you? And that's actually scriptural. Let me see. That's the foundation. I mean, everything is spiritual. One man laid his foundation on a rock. And that's spiritual. I've never brought that one out, but it's just the example I was given just kind of put me there. Let me see if this is Luke chapter 6 and 48 says, he is like a man which buildeth an house and diggeth deep and laid the foundation on a rock. And when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently upon the house and could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock. And our foundation is Hamak Yahushai. So once we build upon that rock, it's fortitude, we're secure, because we understand that this place is about to be destroyed. You can see all the prophecies taking place. So our people are heavily elated with the false dream, with vanity, what they call it in the world pipe dreams. Our people are in pipe dreams, and they're trying to shoot for the next shot, trying to be the next star athlete, rapper, whatever, entrepreneur, whatever. But we understand that Yahweh Shashai is getting ready to visit the world. He's doing it already. Matthew chapter 6 and 19 says, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon the earth, where moth and rust doeth corrupt, where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and thieves do not break through and steal. It says, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. And that's going into your mind. Your heart is your mind. So our treasure is in the kingdom of Hamashiach Yahushai, and that's where our mind is fixated at, Mark chapter 8 and 36, so that's why it's not convenient, to invest in the world. And actually in this particular time, Mark chapter 8 and 36 says, for what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul? Isaiah chapter 1 and 3 says, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doeth not know, my people doeth not consider. And my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. I'm going to get it one more time. Hosea chapter 4 and 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest unto me, seeing that thou hast forgotten thy law of God. I will also forget that your children. And one more through the Spirit. And this is, so how about you? It's cold, bro. I will laugh. So, you rejected knowledge. You put this thing off. You didn't take heed. This Proverbs 1 and 26 says, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, and distress and anguish cometh upon you. When shall they call upon me? Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. I'm going to just keep going. Proverbs chapter 1 and 27, when your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, and when distress, anguish come upon you, verse 20, that's 27, and I'm going to go to 28. It says, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. Then shall they seek me early, but they shall not find me. For they that hated knowledge and did choose the fear of and did not choose the fear of the Lord, they were none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of the fool shall destroy them. Hey, that's cold, man. That's cold, man. And just one more through the Spirit. So you don't want to come out. You don't want to get caught out here, because we understand. Oh, let me grab something real quick. Just to the Spirit. I'm going to grab it. Because now we're going to see what Yahweh Shemeshah has got in store for the 2/3, that don't want to get right. 2/3 of the nation of Israel and the heathen nation, or, in fact, of the world, because the only way you're going to escape this is being of the remnant, the elect, having that hedge of protection of Yahweh Shem Shai. 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 1 says, Salakia, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, it says, then shalt thou will understand that the Most High spoke of those days. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spoke in those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end. The end is manifest. It says, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works, and the endings and signs and effects. And this is all things that we're seeing right now through the Spirit. We're seeing all these things manifest upon the earth. It is high time. So our people, we're sending out the warning, we're blowing the trumpet, and the scriptures don't lie. Romans chapter 13 and 11 says, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, because if you do not awake out of sleep, it's just like anything else, right? Like if it's a war, if it's an enemy coming to smoke you and your ass is sleeping, you should have been woke. You should have been ready. We've been telling you, hey man, such so-and-so, the ops, he's coming to blow you. He's going to blow you. He's coming with that blower ready to smoke you. And you're just chilling. You're not taking it serious. You're not finding a way to fortify yourself, to protect yourself. I forget the word. You're not doing nothing. You ain't putting on a vest. You ain't putting on no armor. You ain't waking up. You're just sleeping, bro. And that's how Yahweh Shem Shai is going to take you. It says, for now is your salvation nearer than we believed. And it's going to be like a thief in the night, I'm not even. I kind of want to say this. So I'm going to use these for my next camp. What is it? Thief. I'm going to just go there in the night. Okay, dude, let's see what it says. Beautiful. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and 1 says, but of the times and season, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety. And we're seeing that. I can't remember what was the last thing, like peace and safety. That's what they like to say. What was the last thing they said? It was like Joe Biden. He said peace and safety. But you know what? That's you can apply that to different things. But it says, yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But brethren, okay, so this is you men that have an ear. It says, but ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. So you're not. So already that. You see the turmoil, you see the Heavenly Father's works, his destruction, coming abroad, coming to pass. You see it manifesting before your eyes. And so this is a time to hearken, This is a time of Yahweh Shem Shai to seek your Creator, before the days draw nigh where you will have no pleasure in them, because we understand that we're getting ready to see this great death. Let me see one more time. The Spirit's still going. And then I'll leave it here. Great tribulation. This is why, Matthew chapter 24 and 21 says, for then shall be great tribulation, and such was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be, except those days be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is some. Okay, so so you can guarantee yourself. This 22 is telling you, except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Meaning, the days left here in Babylon the Great, these days shall be shortened, because Yahweh Shem Shai is going to expedite the destruction. All right, because He has a new plan, a new standard, a new. He's bringing a kingdom. So this place has to be destroyed. The scriptures say, for the good thing to be sown, well, I'll just get it, why play? The good turned upside down, good is sown. This will probably be the last one. So Yahweh Shemashah therefore has to bring this destruction, Second Ezra chapter 4 and 29 says, if therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, this current kingdom, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, which is talking about here Babylon the Great, America, which all the wickedness, the perversion, the perverse ways of Babylon the Great, America, Sodom and Gomorrah, spiritually, right? This current system, if it's not turned upside down, meaning destroyed, and if the place where the evil is not passed not away, then cannot come that is sown with good. So Yahweh has to destroy this place. You understand? So with that, I give all honor and glory to my power, which is Yahweh, Ka'Allah, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakadash, Shalom.